What's up guys, my name is Nick and in today's video we're going to take a look at a skirmish that was up recently. And if some of you now wonder why I'm doing so much videos of skirmish, then I need to tell you that I just find it pretty interesting to play the skirmish mode, because you have this really rare situation where you have a pretty much balanced out game. You don't find this very often. So we have this game that is, as I said, pretty balanced, because every player has the same robots, the same opportunities, the same possibilities to do something. And that's a thing I really like about the skirmish. And also, if you pay close attention to the robots, its weapons and the modules, you become a really good player, because you can find out some robots that can counter other robots pretty well, that have maybe some modules on them to counter others. So I really like this game mode, because yeah, it's just a balanced game, and I don't find myself very often in a game that's actually balanced. So I like to play this and I like to make videos about it. So this right now looks like we are about to lose this game, because they have 4 beacons on us. But let me tell you something, we're going to turn this over. It doesn't look like this right now, but we're going to turn this over. So right now I'm trying to get that center beacon, firing off there the Ravana. And with the help of my teammate, we actually managed to kill him. Now we need another beacon here to have a chance to win this. This Phantom luckily isn't going to encounter us, so we can just capture this beacon. But in the meantime, they already captured the center beacon back. This is no good news for us, so let's just try to get the center beacon back from that guy. You see that the Ravana is doing a lot of damage, because the Ravana was the strongest robot in this setup. But I'm going to tell you a bit more about that later. Okay, right now we are only holding 1 beacon down, and that's the one that my team and I went for. And I'm now trying to fight off that invader, but he got me suppressed sadly, and with my weapons I run out of firepower, and without my ability they have a pretty easy time killing me. So in the meantime my team got another beacon, so I'm spawning on there, trying to get a bit of damage in from that side, because with the Ravana you just had the range to do this. Stay out of the close range engagings and do some damage from the distance. And this worked pretty well most of the times. So let's try to activate this guy's ability. So this is actually not good news for me, because this guy is made for close range engaging and can do a lot of damage to my Ravana. I'm also getting hit in the back there from another enemy. Getting this guy killed. Now I have only one ability ready, and I wouldn't made it even if I used this ability. So I just decided to get rid of the Ravana. This invader here was also pretty strong, because it was fast with that jumping ability. You could just surprise your enemy and then burn him up. It was a bit harder to play that because of the flamethrowers, but if you can play them, this thing was actually pretty strong. Because as you can see, there was a Loki, and you can damage a Loki while he is himself pretty well with the flamethrowers. Especially when you have a robot that has its weapons pretty close to the ground, like the invader has it. Okay, getting that other invader there. It also had a lot of health and the advanced healing module, so you would get through most of the enemy attacks easily. Okay, right now we have the 3 cap on them, but to win this we would need a 4 cap. But the enemy is running into another problem because he is running out of robots there. This is his last robot. You know, sometimes matches seem like you're losing them, but just because the enemy is pushing too hard actually and losing therefore a lot of robots, what means that you could actually win a lot of games because they are just running out of robots. So in this match I decided to jump into the Ravana firstly, because it has just the range to engage over long distances. And at the beginning of a match you mostly find yourself engaging people over long distances, so I actually thought this would be a good idea. So we are first to his beacon. Let's try to capture and hold it. So the reason why this Ravana is just so strong is one, because of the atomizers. It has the most firepower available. With the atomizers you can fire for an unlimited amount of time, at least at close range, and you can deal a lot of damage over long range. There was only one robot that had a better range, and that was the Loki. The damage output of that wasn't too good, especially with these sparks that lose firepower over distance. Another reason was just the Ravana itself, because it has a lot of health. It has a overdrive unit, and you know this hangar was built up with a lot of robots that relied on their abilities, and with the Ravana you can just wait out the abilities of the enemy. It doesn't really matter with the Loki there, but you can actually hit him pretty well with the atomizers, even if he's in stealth. But it was also a good encounter for like literally any other robot, because the invader had the range to encounter the Ravana. You could always stay out of the 350 meters of range that the invader had with its flamethrowers. You could encounter the Blitz robot because you could just wait out his ability, and you could also encounter the Phantom and wait out his ability. So yeah, there were a lot of robots that relied on their ability, and even if the invader jumped on you and were to suppress you, you could just use your ability and get away from that suppression pretty easily. So the Ravana was actually, I think, the strongest robot in the skirmish. But this invader, as I told you, is also pretty strong, especially when you want to fight off some people from a beacon, like you see right here. They managed to fight off both of them and get that beacon back. And that's mainly because you can suppress a lot of enemies at once and then deal a pretty good amount of damage with the flamethrowers. Because right now you will always, or nearly always, find someone in your range. And it's looking pretty good for us. We have a 4 cap on them. And as you can see right now, I'm suppressing all of them. They're all suppressed right now. But then I'm also getting suppressed by the invader from the enemy team here. But with the help of my other 2 teammates, I actually did a pretty good job here. And then there are just too many enemies. Okay, let's try to get a bit of damage in with the Phantom. So this thing was pretty strong, but only if your enemy hadn't had full health, because you can do a lot of damage with this setup, but only for a short amount of time. So as far as you run out of firepower, you won't stand long. But for that, you can just teleport back most of the time, so yeah, I think this was also a pretty fun build to play. Mostly likely you see scorpions in the today's meta. Okay, let's try to get to this spawn because this game is going to be over anyways soon. They got me suppressed, and then the game is over. Okay, let's see how we did. Actually came out first, and I did 1.8 million damage here. That's not too bad. Okay, I spawn in with the Ravana here. This is a team deathmatch. And we'll see for how long I can stay in this Ravana. Okay, this guy's using his phase shift there. But now I can get some damage in. We are already 1 kill ahead. So I found that, especially for team deathmatch, the Ravana is a really good choice. Because you could just stay in the spotlight forever if you played right. Because as I told you can get away from the enemy's ability pretty easily, and also what it makes good to encounter the invader is because of the flames of the invader need to travel to you, and that takes a set amount of time, which you can easily run away or use your phase shift. So the invader is only something that you would be afraid of if you encounter it in really close range. In any other situation, you would most likely beat the invader. Okay, that guy got into phase shift there. I actually wasn't playing the Loki too often here, because it just hadn't had the amount of firepower needed, and most of the times you would just get killed by like the Ravana or an invader or even the Phantom, and Blitz had really good setups to counter a stealth Loki, so your stealth wasn't actually too good in this kind of skirmish. Okay, let's try to get this Ravana. As you can see, I'm in perfect overdrive unit range. I'm doing some crazy damage here. As you can see, I'm actually able to hit that Loki, and he just quit it there because he just knew that I would get him. Okay, let's see. Let's activate his ability. Now it wore off. I can do a bit of damage to him. We are actually pretty far ahead in terms of kills, so these guys shouldn't be able to turn this over here. And I'm still in my first robot, my first Ravana, and the enemy team already has only 2 bots left, 2 players left. Okay, they are again spawning in. So I think that there were actually 1 player or maybe actually 2 players down, because we had a pretty easy time killing them. Okay, he won't get away. But now, oh, okay, am I getting killed? Using again a phase shift. Oh, the other Phantom got me there. So let's see what I'm going to spawn in here. I decide to use the Phantom. So this game is over anyways in a short amount of time. And they have no chance of turning this over again. So it doesn't really matter what I do right now. just decided that this would be the fastest robot to get into the battle again. Now, look, he is using his phase shift. Let's try to hunt him. As you can see, you can hit him pretty good with your weapons on the Phantom. I got him again a bit. Again, this guy is slowly running out of health there. Now he's using his healing unit, but that won't help him much. Now he's actually leaving his stealth, and I think that should be the game here. There's another bot rubbing in. Yeah, I don't think so. That is the game. So let's see how we did. Yeah, came out first. 2.1 million damage, that's really good. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.